we talk about lines, folks, what I think is the most important thing on lakes is to pick and choose a line that will hold your fly at the depth of feeding at for the longest period of time. There's a whole wide range of lines out there to use, and for me, the most important line on still waters is the intermediate line. Why is it so important? Because the intermediate, which is this line right here, sinks at about 1 inch per second up to maybe 1.5 inches. It will keep your fly at the depth that fish feed at for the longest period of time. When we go to a lake we've never fished before, even if you don't know that lake, what you have to consider is where the fish are going to be. And the fish always feed in shallow water because it's the greatest food-bearing region of any lake. This line goes down about 1 inch to 1.5 inches per second and allows you to use any retrieve you want to use and still holds you in that zone. Let's give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you use a fast sinking line that goes down 3 inches per second, let's assume that the fish are underneath that water from 4 to 6 feet. That's 24 inches between 4 to 6 feet down. That 24 inches, if you're using a fast sinking line that goes down 3 inches per second, if your mathematics are the same as mine, you only have 8 seconds, folks, in which to hold that fly in that zone. Why is that important? Because once that fly passes below the fish, trout never look down for their food, they only look up. So let's look at it a different way. If you guys go out and you make a long cast, 50, 60 feet, let's say you can make a 60-foot cast. If I use a retrieve at this speed like this, and I bring that fly back through the water, how far can I retrieve the fly and keep that fly in that zone or above the fish so that they see it? I'll give you maybe 10 feet max. You know what that means? That means the last 50 feet of your retrieve, if you're in clear water, is going to be wasted. So we spend a lot of time every day doing this, casting, and doing this, retrieving, and we're not really effectively fishing the water. So the intermediate line, because of its slow sink rate, will hold you in that zone for the longest period of time, and that's why this line is so critical. If we take considerations such as fast sinking lines, why do we use a fast sinking line? Most people think that we want to get the fly down to the bottom right away. Well, if the fish are suspended in that zone, they don't have brakes to them, and when they go down, they're going to go right through that zone. So just think in terms, when you're fishing lakes, the most effective line for you is going to be a line that's going to keep you in that zone where fish are going to see it.